Hey everyone, uh, I'm sitting down. I'm currently not standing up because I'm reviewing Trippie Redd's new album, Mansion Music, and it's horrible. I'm just gonna get it out there. Spoiler alert, it's very bad. And I got some things to say about it, so let's get into it. I probably should stand up, so I'm gonna stand up. This album is really bad. It's very long. It's 25 songs long, an hour and 16 minutes, I think, and it's something. It really is. Now, I'm not a Trippie Redd fan. This was actually the first Trippie album I listened to in full, and so I am very disappointed. And I wasn't excited for it, and I knew it was gonna be terrible, and it was terrible. So some positives. There are some few things that I will say that are positive about this album. Out of 25 songs, I liked 3 of them. Well, I didn't like them. I thought they were listenable, and that's Nightcrawler, Dark Brotherhood, and Killionaire. Those were the only ones that I thought were fine, that were decent, and all the rest were very bad. But this is a positive thing. Also, some of the songs, I think, like maybe there were 2 or 3 examples of this, where the transition from song to song was good. I was like, oh, that was pretty cool. I'll give you props for that. And so I don't remember the songs, but I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in the beginning of the album. Also, speaking of the beginning, the first few tracks are not good. They're not horrible, but they're like, it starts off very poor, but it ends so much worse. So if you're listening to this from top to bottom, enjoy the beginning because the end is really gonna suck. Now, everybody buckle in because I'm gonna talk about everything I didn't like about this album. The lyrics, the production, the beats, the flow, the mixing, the features, all of it, the length, the songs, just everything about it I didn't like. The beats, to me, they all sounded like beats you hear on TikTok, or like they stole beats from Yeet. That's what they sounded like to me. Especially in the beginning, I was like, "What? Where did you find this? Did you just look up like TikTok beat?" And because that's all, there was nothing special to any of these beats to me. And obviously, everybody's heard it. The mixing on this album is really bad. Prime example, the Travis Scott feature. I don't know how you mess up a Travis feature that bad, but congrats, you did it. And just like all of the features, this is a stacked feature list. There's only 4 songs on this album that are just Trippie. And with all these features, you got like Lil Baby, Future, Juice WRLD, Travis Scott, and Chief Keef, a bunch of other people, and they all mess up terribly. None of them really work together well. And I mean, none of them work together with Trippie well, except Juice, but Juice always is good with Trippie. And it's just a mess. It's like somehow you failed at being DJ Khaled. I don't know how you did that, but you did it. So props to you, Trippie. Also, the flow, Trippie's flow on most of these songs suck. It's to the point where sometimes it's like so bad that it's kind of entertaining. I think on like Dark Brotherhood and Killionaire, those are the only reason I like those songs is because the flow, it was so bad that it was, it kind of went a little bit, but it's still not good. I still don't think those songs are good. They're just fine. Songs I might listen to again. Obviously, the Juice WRLD song Nightcrawler is the best song on this album. I don't think that's a hot take at all. And Trippie and Juice, they always go together, with the other songs like 1400, 999, and the one off his most recent album that I can't remember the name of. But as still, that song is good. Trippie does ruin it for me. I like Juice's part, but I think when Trippie comes on, it's just like, okay, just skip it, go to the next one. And one new thing, when I was listening to this album, I was so bored from the music that I actually wrote down notes on some of the songs, something that I wanted to remember. And the first one right here, on the song Dark Brotherhood, we get a prime example of the stellar wordplay that Trippie Redd uses with the quote, "No, we keep it litty like a titty. You know, that really stood out to me. Later in the song, I don't have the exact quote, but he mentions like doing something then hitting the gritty. So you know, lyricist of the year, like hello, Grammys, nominate this man. Next, on the song High Hopes, Trippie mentions doing his homework, and then he just starts growling. Not directly after, but a couple lyrics after, he just starts growling. But it's a weird, like, pitiful attempt at growling. I'm not gonna, just listen to the song. I don't want to embarrass myself and try and growl on YouTube, but it was weird. That song is pretty bad. Not the worst on this album, though, so, good job. Then we have the song Die Die. Now, I gave this the award for the worst song I have heard in my Cryptic Critiques history. It's not the worst song I've ever heard, but in all my past reviews, all the past albums I've done, that was the worst song I have heard. So, congrats to Die Die. I think Trippie's flow was embarrassingly bad, and it was just really stupid. Also, the feature, I don't know who was on it, I can't remember, but they sucked. At least to me, I really hated it. At least them and Trippie together. Then we have the song Biggest Bird. I wrote down the quote, when Trippie says, Big Bird, ah. And I don't really got to explain it. Let's go to the next one. Witchcraft. The feature on it, Rilo Rodriguez. I think that's how you say his name. I've never heard of this man until this song, but to me, he sounded like Yeet, but pitched down, and I was confused at first, because, like, I was like, who is this on the song? Because he sounds so much like Yeet, but I don't know, but he sounds like with a deeper voice, and the song sucks. We have Toilet Water with Ski Mask, the Slump God. You know how I said Die Die is the worst song in Cryptic Critiques history? Well, I'm taking that award and giving it to this song. And my only notes for this song was the ad-libs genuinely made me want to kill myself. So that's how you do it. I don't know why Ski Mask ever agreed to it. If you need a rundown, it's basically a terrible song with Trippie Redd and Ski Mask the Slump God making fart sounds, and there's like toilet flushes in the background. And that is actually the worst song I have heard in Cryptic Critiques history, and definitely top 10 worst songs I've ever heard in my life. And what is a review without mentioning Swag Like Ohio Part 2? I would have given this the worst song, but I actually thought Trippie's part on Trippie's first verse, whatever, I'm like stuttering because I don't remember any of this. I listened to it yesterday, and I don't remember anything. But I thought his part was You know, there's terrible, there's bad, there's there's okay, average, good, great. And so it's kind of there. It's not the worst on this album, Trippie's part. So that makes it not the worst song on this album, probably the third worst. But everything else on that song is just embarrassing. And honestly, Trippie should be ashamed for ever thinking that was a good idea, releasing that song. One thing I wanted to say is that this album is just embarrassing. It really sounded like Trippie wanted to fit in with like the TikTok kids and do all the current TikTok trends with songs like Biggest Bird, Swag Like Ohio, which are currently, well, not even currently. Those were like TikTok memes and trends like a couple of weeks ago. I'm recording this the day after this album came out, by the way. So it's like these are old dead trends, and like you're doing them now. Like if you did them later, I guess they could have popped off, kind of like the Lil Yachty Poland song. But this is just embarrassing. If you haven't listened to this, please do not listen to this. I only listened to this album because of this video. And generally, like, when I got down to, like, Free Rio, I wanted to stop listening to it, but I decided to pull through. I finished it, and my god, it was a waste of an hour and 16 minutes. After listening to Mansion Music by Trippie Redd, I'm going to say I hated it. At the end of the day, this album is just bad. It's horrible. Please do not listen to it. It's cringy. It's poorly done. It's boring. Worst of all, I don't have an official like number review yet, but I'm gonna say while there were some songs that were listenable, it's just too long. This album cannot get anything above like a 2 for me, and so I hated it. Please do not listen to it. Tune in next week for the next Cryptic Critique. join the Discord in the link in the description. Follow my Twitch. Follow my Twitter. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the old channel. And I will see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody.